Is this your planet Europe Universal's insults?
How did you know?
It looks like it.
But technically, they are doing the reference as well from a certain movie,
Oh, I don't know
which
the
you've
movie.
probably never seen.
Yeah.
It's Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oh, I know Monty Pie, but I don't know if I've
Yeah.
seen the Holy Grail.
You know the French dude who is throwing those insults, you know.
Ah, it's really good. I like
Yeah.
it. I like Monty Pie.
Okay.
Monty
You
Pie.
like Python.
No, Monty Python.
You like
Monty
like
Pie. What the fuck did I say? Monty Pie. Monty Python.
Yeah, Monty Pie. You have a pie
Yeah.
of Monty.
Man, I don't really like my shirt that I'm wearing right now, but it was the first one that came out of the closet. It's a really old shirt, and I thought that it would look nice on me, and now I realize it doesn't. But that's okay.
Bro, you speak like Bill Gates. You have the same clothing but multiple pairs.
Yeah, that's what I want. That's my goal.
Yeah, or you still like me and don't have multiple pairs.
What the fuck do you have?
I have no clothes.
Oh, you're just butt naked here right now.
Yeah, of course.
Damn. Okay. I was working on trying to get the... We can have that running. That's okay. I didn't even push this. Wait, I did changes to the device? No, I did not. It's just there in the matrix as well. Ah, wait, I was supposed to do changes here, right? Because I wanted to get the properties such as this, and I also needed to get... I'm gonna start a Claude client for this because it explained to me kind of well what I needed, and I forgot what it was. It was some other properties, but I think I needed an extension for it, and that's a thing I don't remember. Loading for to somehow send the endpoints. Actual upload data. The one I use is go for address. What's it called? Address. Descriptor addresses. What? I think I will move this to part of properties, like so. Or I could all put everything just in the... Why not just do this? It's not that much to ask for. I think this is just overly verbose. Let's have it straight in here. Yeah. And could I perhaps even... Because I do for each, I do get the properties. families. %q. So VKQ family, I read through the Vulkan image descriptor. You're on the right track. VK extension descriptor buffer. The extension and procs are loaded. The layout is created with descriptor buffer extension. Device feature is enabled, but the actual descriptor write step is missing, and there's a bug in how you're binding right. And how's what's actually going in the mental model with descriptor pools? You'd allocate VK descriptor set and call descriptor offsets updates with VK descriptor buffer itself in plain memory. Ask Vulkan how big a set is for layout descriptor set layout size extension. Ask Vulkan where each binding lives inside of the block. VK get descriptor set layout binding offset. Allocate a host visible buffer of that size with the usage resource. And if you have samplers in the same set. But I think this is sampler descriptor buffer. For each binding call, VK get descriptor extension. It takes a VK descriptor image, info, VK descriptor address info. Yeah, hold on. Allocate a host visual buffer for that size with resource descriptor buffer bit, yeah, shader device address, but now, okay, yeah, sure, and sampler descriptor buffer. For each binding call, this VK descriptor buffer extension takes VK descriptor image info and VK descriptor address info, etc., and write the opaque descriptor bytes into your mapped buffer at the binding offset. At draw time, VK command bind descriptor buffer extension the descriptor buffer GPU address, then VK set descriptor buffer offsets extension which set inside the buffer. The bug to fix first. In Vulkan, you're binding current as the descriptor buffer. That buffer holds your GPU structure, not descriptors. The GPU is reading 64 bytes of view projection time and treating them as combined image sampler descriptor, which is undefined behavior. You need to separate buffer that stores descriptor bytes written by the descriptor. Yeah, okay, but that's because I used to do just one. Now I have both of them. Also note, your descriptor count for the inline uniform block Vulkan must be multiple of 4 spec rules to be 60, which is not that will fail validation. Either pad GPU scene or drop inline uniform block and use a normal UBO. Have VK get buffer device address working, so a buffer device address pointer is simplest. Extend the procs. You already load procs you got here. Pull the descriptor properties once need. Okay, and then it gives me all of that. Okay, but what...
I will back in a second.
Okay. Descriptor buffer offset alignment. Buffer properties extension. VK structure physical device properties buffer extension. Physical properties. Get physical device to handles per frame or once if your texture set doesn't change, build the descriptor buffer. And then device handle set size, so then I want to store this set size, I guess. Run up to DB properties descriptor buffer of set alignment. Binding offset. Get descriptor set layout, binding offset, extension handle, binding offset. I have to check in on what all I can get from there, but want to check first because I do get the enumerate the physical devices, then I get the physical properties. Okay, so are we 3D modeling yet? These nuts? Yeah, we got the 3D model. I'm just trying to get the textures now without using descriptor pools. We are using shader objects and buffer addresses, or what are they called? Descriptor buffer, yeah. And I'm a bit unsure about how to do it, but apparently I need to load some more extension function proc calls. And I don't know, I think during startup that would be fine to do. But we'll see. I will probably crash the thing a few times here, but we'll see. We'll see. Devices, physical devices. I wanted to first just see, should I store the properties? Hello, Code Fox. API, vendor device. Oh. It's going good, it's going good. How about you, Code Fox? Oh, this is so dumb. It says that there is this thing, you can't find it. That's fine. Here. So from properties, physical device, there's a physical device limits, and inside of the limits I should find that. Wow, should I store all of this information? Or just the ones that I need? Then we can do the max recipe. Properties. Where's my damn LSP? Yes. I cannot see what I'm doing. No LSP. No LSP. No LSP. Okay. Okay, now there's the LSP, what the fuck. Limits dot and example there. Any sort of property. Do you know what BBS is? The bullet board system. What's the bullet board system? Okay, now I would like to use these proc addresses. Should I do it while I start it over here, or should I go to over here when I initialize? It's Vulkan instance. Maybe I should call it also proc instance load, and then I have the device over here which loads the. Okay, I do get the physical, and so here I have the physical. And I'll store it in the physical while I do the first load. I mean, I will try that. I think that makes most sense to begin with. So doing this basically, we'll see. It's basically Discord but before the internet. Bullet board system. Don't know. Never heard about it. Wait, but we'll load the instance, but only load the device. Is it a different? Is this a... wait, I went to the wrong place. Load here, device. I didn't check if device is just a logical device or if it's a physical device. It seems to be logical. So it's after I have loaded this thing, I should be doing that. Let's see. So extension dot vk physical OLSP. Did I not? Okay, wait, this is not. No. Wait, is this the extension yet? I will just put it here to begin with, and we'll maybe move it. Maybe move. And then C VK physical device script or buffer properties extension. The bar db buffer. I don't know why whoops. We're gonna see in a while probably. And then we're gonna just assign this, that, and we're gonna give a dot s type the vk structure type scriptor buffer properties, descriptor buffer properties extension. Yeah, and that's it. Well, then I think this is a bad place to do this because I don't know. Let's see. And what's a prop 2? Okay, where's a prop 2? Okay, I'm probably gonna move this away. I'm just doing this temporarily here to figure out what I need, maybe why I need it. Physical device properties 2 is equal to dot s type cvk structure type physical device properties 2, right? Yeah, and then p next. Okay, bb props. And then we have C. Okay, but then I would say this would need to be inside of the initialization of the. Well, we'll put it here for now. Get this device properties 2. Okay, I don't think I use properties 2 though. We're gonna have to pass in the physical device, so self. Physical device, and then the props 2. Yeah, okay, we could actually just do this in the initialization of this then. Because now we'll get the information that we need per frame, or once if your texture doesn't change, it doesn't change. But that's it, set size. But what? You don't store anything right now. So just store the properties too once somewhere and then use them. Don't connect to someone's system, you physically dial them to join per node, so it was limited for one person unless the sysup, the host buys nodes phone lines. Huh. Crazy. Set size. SUSE. CVK device size. extension. Okay, now this one makes sense. Get VK get script for layout binding this CIB, and this one we want to take into device and asset device. And then the layout. Do I have the descriptor layout? This descriptor layout. Okay, my bad. I did a little bit of extra there. Yeah, descriptor layout. Probably the handle as well, not the actual my structure. And then the set size. Okay, but what do I still do with the properties? I'm a bit unsure about that. Round up to dB properties descriptor buffer offset alignment. Round up? Do you mean just taking them? Ah. But I cannot. What do you mean round up to? I cannot round up if the descriptor set layout size, but that's offset. Can I wouldn't assume they are the exact same thing. And if they were, I cannot round up by the. If it returns, I should round down, not up, because I don't think this makes sense. We'll see. Alright, thanks for the link. I cannot check it out right now though. But we can do a continue on with this thing. Binding one. That's weird. CVK device size 09. Okay, great. And extension get VK get exclusive layout offset extension. And Wikipedia or Wiki put in. Okay, thanks. Self.device. That's graphics. Alright. And then one, and then the thing size binding offset. Just want to make sure what's the signature. Does it say it's just the device, the scriptor set layout, and a U32, which tells me nothing. Scriptor set layout binding, so the scriptor set 1 probably then. It doesn't start from 0, does it? I don't think it does. I don't remember. Well, it starts from 0. Can I not say 0 then? Or should this be happening after probably I'm done with doing all of the... Yeah, okay, wait, I'm a fucking dumbass. I should probably not be doing it here. Here I have done the pipeline, here I have done the scriptor layout. I don't think I really need anything else for it yet, so I think it will be fine. Just it needs the layout to understand how it looks like before I ask for anything. Because I set layouts, wait, what? Get scriptor set layout size. I hope. Yeah, the scriptor layout. But how does it? Scriptor set layout binding. How does it know which the set I'm talking about? Oh, I did wrong. I passed it. I'm not passing the right amount of parameters. Oh, thank God. I was like, that doesn't make sense. Self.descriptor layout handle. And I have some errors somewhere above. Yeah, no, don't worry about it. I'm just gonna save it like this one. And physical device properties 2. Found render Vulkan physical device. Just so I get the LSP. Good. Let me continue. So, where was I? This is fucking awful. It's okay. It's okay to be off. I think this one might have gone completely crazy. Let's see. I did all of this binding offset. Now should we get that? And descriptor buffer. Try initialize device VMA U8 set size. So now we use the set size that we got from here. And then VK resource descriptor buffer bit, VK use sampler descriptor buffer bit extension. Buffer use sampler descriptor buffer. Image. Wait, buffer use shader device. But how does this work for both sampler and image? Because I want combined image sampler. I don't know if this is. Write the combined image sampler descriptor buffer. Okay, well, if it's gonna be like this, it might be a bit trickier, but I think I can manage. I should manage. But then I will probably change this. This one is doing the right thing, right? But it needs also to be changed to do that instead of well, that. And I think this needs to be accessed by both stages, these things, if I remember correctly. But we'll take this straight from here, and I will store it in here, like this, and I cannot save. Why do I have caps lock? Fuck, that's so weird. And then we'll just go self.device. No, that's what I want to do, and then self this one. Self.vma and U8 set size, VK buffer use descriptor, resource descriptor buffer bit, resource. Okay, that makes sense. But then sampler, okay, but how does it use shader device address bit? How does it know to be a combined image sampler? That's what I don't know. But okay, we store a buffer. We will probably want to store this one actually inside of here because we're kind of like just doing it for temporary case with this. Probably could make something. It's here now. Buffer. So I will change it to a self. And let's see, we don't need to do that thing. That should be fine. Yep. Just slow. It's okay. But I'm a bit unsure that because how can it? Okay, it will probably complain when I start to use it, then and I can figure it out easier than start making assumptions here. Or to combine image sampler descriptor into the buffer. So descriptor image info sampler self-sampler test self-texture image view image like shader only optimal get info descriptor get info structure type script. Okay, yeah, PK descriptor type combine image sampler P combine image sampler image info destination P description. Okay, so we just get descriptor offset at draw time replace the broken block in Okay. I take this, just scroll from here, I think. So I'm not scripter image. Okay. And then we put, okay, so, okay, but how does it know that it should use a sampler already? I would assume this would also be a combined image descriptor, but okay, let's see. So it takes the sampler, well, it's an optional, so I guess you wouldn't always have to provide it, and then, okay, then it would make sense. Image view, and that will take from here, and then image layout. Isn't that more like a, okay, shader read only optimal. Get information, so then this will be descriptor get information. We are getting the information for this thing. And info, and we're propagating it. We are filling in it. I don't know what's it called. Anyways, this thing will have to come from self dot. So we're gonna get the data, pointer cast it to this U8, and then get. I think I have a smarter way of doing this actually, but we're gonna leave it like this for now because it's still just test run for it. Get descriptor extension device. I'll get the device. We're gonna pass in the information. We're gonna go command your sampler descriptor size. Okay. I think I call this DP props. No, I don't call it. I call it something else. And then we should be able to combine image sampler descriptor size. Okay, so yeah, if I wanted to store here, wait, what the fuck? Now I'm using different values for this and for this. Okay, gonna check it out quickly, or after I have done the rest, just to see that the logic makes sense. Double check with set size. Get into that in a way. Okay, let's a draw time. Replace the broken block in Vulkan 452. Well, it might not be 452 anymore because I added more. But yeah, this doesn't look to be at all right. It should be where you start using this information. Yes. Binding descriptor buffer binding info. Bind. After the copied blah blah blah. Well, I don't have anything there that's called that, but I know it's talking about this shit.
Yo, Lubas, wanna watch my stream here for a second? Also, viewer discretion advised. If you easily get sick by looking at things,
you're a normal human being, then viewer discretion is.
Yeah. Alright, I'm viewing your. What the hell are you doing? What the fuck are you doing?
What do you mean?
Did you create some custom shader for Minecraft or?
Nah. I just downloaded this.
Why would you do that?
Do you like them?
No, I don't.
Because I can. And I can also rotate the.
Yo, what up, Roberto? Roberto.
Probably joins to this.
Nah, Wim. I hope I pronounced that right. I got a stroke while saying that. Sorry. Ah man. Okay. That's crazy, bro.
You like this stuff?
No, I really don't.
If I TP myself.
What are you gonna do?
Wait, no. Right. If we get some obsidian.
You had to.
I downloaded Minecraft for free up to this website.
Yo, I downloaded Minecraft for free.
Yo, I got free Minecraft. Yeah.
How do you know what the fuck you're doing? Like, Jesus Christ.
I barely do. But I beat Ender Dragon with this.
This girl,
so,
why would you do that?
It's so good.
You like it? Yeah.
Free Minecraft.ru. Yes.
This could work quite well
Yes.
if you just made a parrot party. You know, you put parrots
Yeah.
dancing, and then you would play with that. I think that would be pretty fire.
Yeah. Mm. Oh, hell no.
Do you have enemies in the game that will join and group up with other enemies to create bigger coordinated squads? No, I don't really have any way of pathfinding, honestly, yet already, so they are not even doing anything fancy like that. I would like to probably get to that, but for me it's more about right now getting the basics in there, so trying to get the model loading, and I'm trying to use descriptor buffers. I use descriptor buffers for the uniform data. Yeah. And now I'm trying to do it for textures because I really don't want to use descriptor pools for Vulkan. Yeah, I have no idea, but I will see. Make the enemies work together. Yeah, I will be fine. We'll see. We'll first
Yeah, but
probably get.
Luba's not good at AI.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting sick from this shit, bro.
I never seen that in a roguelike. Yeah. I think we could probably like. I'm gonna look into other flow fields, and I think it's quite. Tyler Hobbs, is he talking about that? Well, programming. And I hope flow fields part 1. Oh, that's CSS. Come on. AI. I hope it doesn't come now like something AI generated stuff, because that's not what I mean. I mean like, okay, it's still, oh my god. What do you have to type now? Now I have to find like AI bot Pathfinder.
AI bot?
Yeah, bruh.
Yeah.
Well, that one kind of explains it also, but yeah, flow fields in 3D I think would be doable, and get them to work together to move. Could probably do some prioritization with them, because if you know planetary annihilation, this game they do. I think they use some sort of flow fields with A star grid on the planet. So they have like they have big like regions that they use A star to navigate for the enemies on the planet, and then they use flow fields to navigate within those chunks. I like a small guy that jumps off the back of a big guy for a slam attack, that kind of thing. Oh, that would be fire. Or an explosive guy that gets picked up and tossed by another enemy. That could be pretty fire. There's crazy amount of ideas, but we'll get to those things eventually. We still have to do animations still, so there's no animations yet. We have to create those before we do anything like that. But yeah, I'm thinking it's suggesting that descriptor buffer binding info. Bind descriptor, so I need to get the info before okay. This is still something I can this is just copying data from here to this buffer. That's what I'm thinking I should be able to do at the top as well, but okay. GPU get device. This is probably where we're gonna have to change things out. So we're gonna start from here. And we're gonna take, I think I can just take this from here and see that it makes sense. That's just that it does not, because something is a bit weird. Let's see. Type const. Yeah, okay, it got a little bit of a pointer cast buffer. Yeah, it got a little bit of a funny here. I wanted to work with this thing, so we're gonna take it again from here. Fuck. Let's see here. So we're gonna get binding info. This wiki descriptor buffer binding extension. And then we pass that it's the structure. Then we're gonna get the address of, which is basically the same. Wait, hold on. Do you actually have? Yeah, no. Wait, do I actually have that thing? Wait, hold on. This is my own. Oh, I do have device. I call it. Do you maybe call it device address? I don't know why I call it GPU address. That's a bit funny, actually. Get buffer device address. Cheap. I think because when I started doing this, I wasn't sure about what the fuck that was, but now, well, I guess GPU address, but I would still like to call it buffer device address. But device address I easily mixed up with the logical device, and I was confused. But it is a logical device address. So GPU address actually is quite misleading, I think now. So I'm gonna call it device address. Because now it actually makes sense. It's a device. It's an address from the device address. Device address. Yeah, it's an address from the device. So it makes sense. And then we can go back to here. So now device address makes sense here. Descriptor buffer. Well, this will probably change as well. It's just for the testing. Then usage. Will source descriptor buffer bit extension sampler. I still don't understand why we're not saying image combined image sampler or something like that. Why is it just sampler? It's both, but we will see. Then we do this. Okay, so I did do it here before as well for this one, but now we're focusing on this one first. Or actually, is this one giving me both of them at the same time? Probably it is. It cannot, because this one is... You shouldn't be able to devise set size. Well, I guess maybe it's going to be both. It's gonna be there now. Yeah. Okay, well then it's fine. This is not really fine. We'll see. It will crash and burn. It's not fine. But okay, so I assume then that both will be in here. And I will not have to do this. We'll see. But, okay. One thing I want to see though, because I'm a bit confused by this one over here. Buffer count. Okay, so how many buffers were passing there? Okay, well then, it's the number of elements in the buffer. Okay, so you could pass multiple ones if you wanted to. Well, I don't really see where I would like to do that now, but anyways. Buffer index, set buffer offset. BK set descriptor buffer offsets. Pull the descriptor once. Need descriptor buffer set alignment combine. So then I should store these for later, so I could take them from here. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna do this here. Store that real quick. Okay, I'm gonna put an extra space there. And then extension. BK command. Script. There. Set descriptor buffer offset extension. Okay, and then it doesn't really tell me. It wants the command buffer, it wants the pipeline layout, and a U32, U32, and then an array of U32s and an array of U64s, which are probably okay. Yes, but how am I supposed to know which one is what? Doesn't tell me. Doesn't tell me shit. Okay, it's querying for these again over here. I think we could just store it and we could get that physical device properties. Okay, wait, now it's repeating itself. Okay, that's what's going on. Buffer initialization. The same thing. Then it goes into here. Binding info buffer here. Okay. Wait. Set. Yeah, so here we're gonna pass in the command. Bind point. Ah, okay. And the handles 0, 1, buffer index, and buffer set. So we get this. Okay. I thought it was gonna be something different. Okay. And I've... And I cannot leave them as cons because I'm gonna be passing them as addresses. And then... But what do I need? Wait, it says that I need... Okay, we're gonna see. Has half typed. Binding descriptor buffer. Binding GPU address. I'm a bit unsure what is it. Draw time, replace the broken block in Vulkan. Binding info, this is the old one. But then it has the new one in there as well. What the fuck? I think it's completely and utterly... It has repeated itself so many times. Oh my god, I am a bit lost about what it's trying to tell me. See, command buffer, pipeline bind point. Okay, that makes sense. And pipeline bind point graphics. The layout, yeah, take from there. First set, we just have buffer indices. Hold on. Scriptor layout. Yeah, okay, so these are just the bindings, but they're not multiple sets. Should I make them separate sets? Would there be a benefit in that? Probably it would. I don't want to... Because wouldn't that mean that every repetitive... Bit unsure. I think it would be more beneficial to do a different set. Maybe it would. Well, let's see. Got it. Here's a clean read type. I can see what you already got done. Mental model descriptor buffer. Instead of full sets, you allocate a plain buffer that stores opaque descriptor bytes. The flow is as a Vulkan how big set is. Get descriptor set layout size as Vulkan where each binding lives inside set. Allocate a host visible buffer of that size with usage descriptor buffer extend bit sampler shader for each binding call. For each binding, yeah, so we have two bindings here. It writes the opaque descriptor bytes into your map buffer at the binding. Wait, no, then it's fine. I'm so fucking dumb. And I don't even think I need to update this thing because the descriptor will never really change, right? Only the view will change. This will only happen once during startup, as of for now. But of course, if you get multiple new textures, do we want to update the same buffer? Or we could have multiple buffers also, so I could like have a few in This is really interesting to think about. Well, I don't really have a performance bottleneck at that point, so I don't think it's something to be concerned about, but It's interesting still though. For each binding call, VK descriptor set extension. It writes the opaque descriptor bytes into your mapped buffer at the binding offset. Well, I guess I'd actually do this once on initialization already. Here. Yeah, so, okay, that's why it's a bit different compared to, because what I used to do, I do have in the buffer a, if you go into here, copy, but that one is not for, that's just taking data into the mapped. But now we want to actually write it into, what the heck just happened? I don't know. So, wait, hold on. Here. No, not here. I'm dumb as fuck. Okay, here. This thing, so I guess it goes... Get descriptor extension. It writes the opaque descriptor bytes into your mapped... Okay. But that ain't... That's not quite right what I want. It writes your opaque descriptor bytes into your mapped buffer at the binding offset. It writes the opaque bytes. But this is the other way around. What? Now, am I not writing garbage into it? If I understand correctly, that wraps it into my... Well, that sucks. Well, it's probably, we'll find out, I guess. At draw time, VK bind descriptor buffer extension, then VK command set descriptor buffer offset extension. At draw time, bind the descriptor buffers, then set the descriptor buffers offset. Do I have to do it offset every time? Bugs in your current code. Vulkan Zig 162. So in here somewhere. You texture, image, view, and self-sampler text before they are initialized. Move the texture sampler creation above the descriptor buffer block. That's true, actually. Yeah. Good that it saw that. But wait. Because it's with the buffer. Wait, hold on, where do I do the buffer? I forgot. Self-buffer here. No, wait. Move this above the descriptor buffer block, yeah. But where do I don't provide anywhere the data for this thing to be used. It's a bit funny though. But okay. And somehow I messed that up. Ah wait, this is how is this one messed up anyways? Like so. And then Vulkan Zig has 2 command, that's okay, because that's what I'm trying to figure out what the fuck. Back to back, the second one rebinds your C and UBO buffer as a descriptor buffer, which it isn't. Overwrite the correct first binding, delete line 15. We're gonna have that wrong right now, but yeah, okay, wait, now it's talking about this one, that's fine, because I'm still working on this thing. Vulkan uses size of 68 as the inline block. Descriptor spec requires multiple of 4. 68 happens to be divisible by 4, so it passes, but you also never write the inline block into the descriptor buffer. That easy, drop the inline uniform block from the layer. But now you're again talking, isn't this 2 different things? That this one shouldn't even be a problem if I just didn't do it. Like, what? You should drop the inline uniform block from the layout. Pass view time via buffer device headers in the push constant like you already do for the vertex buffer. Then you set has only one binding, that sampler. No, I'm not gonna do that. Keep inline at add a second VK descriptor extension call with type. That makes more sense for me. Inline uniform block and write the GPU bytes into the descriptor buffer at binding zeros offset. This must happen per frame, the data change, not just at init. Yes, that makes sense. But I don't, yeah. Bug for field name. Your buffer structure field is GPU. But Vulkan, no, that's not your clean up draw time block. So we want to do this. Well, hold on. Binding info. Yeah, so I'm gonna provide this makes sense. This is what we got. This is the same. Init order. Create descriptor layout. You have this currently after. Create texture image. Yeah, okay. Set size, you have this, doesn't really matter besides that. Host visible mapped. Write sample descriptor into description, create pipeline layout, shader, etc. Also delete the stale comment line. Don't forget to deinit in your deinit normalized coordinates. And Vulkan will sample by pixel coordinates, not UVs. If your shader uses UV, okay, wait, do I actually do that? Oh shit, I didn't. I thought I didn't put it at. Wait, no, normalized. At will sample. Is it normalized putting it to? I think it's stripping. Wait. Your Vulkan sample creation flag that determines whether texture coordinates are interpreted as pixel indices or whereas normalized values 0 to 1 when set through coordinates that address text directly in integer-like ranges, which is useful for sprite atlases, texture. Okay, wait, actually I do have it wrong. If that's okay, if that's the right one. Which is VK sampler create info. Sampler create info. Bingo. I think this is the one. Let's see, we want the which one was it? I already forgot it. My brain died. Uniform here. Because and value specify the wrapping operation used when. Wait, what? No, this is not it. Here. Control whether the use of normalized or normalized textile coordinates to address textile. When is true, the range of image coordinates uses to look up the textile is the range of 0 to the image size. When false, the range of image coordinates 0 to 1. Okay, so I want false. That. Okay. Then we can go back down here. And am I then supposed to just do a... I do pass this, I do have all of the information in here, I do get the buff, the offset, and then set descriptors, offset sets, I get this buffer index. And then, wait, but how do I again, extension, GPU scene data. How do I, yeah, we don't need, we're gonna do this later. Put the comment up here instead, or that you do, and I should probably not call it info. Info is a super bad name, but it's okay. Why is the time moving so fast? Can somebody slow down time real quick? I'm a bit unsure about this now, because hold on. No. I already get the device address, right? But now I just need to overwrite the information in the beginning with this. So that would happen. Oh shit. Wait, so that's when I do this thing over here. Because I want to give it the... Because the first part is going to be... Yeah, here. Destination plus binding offset. Binding offset is from here, which should be offset... Is it binding 1, right? Yeah, so this is binding. Yeah. So then it's binding 1. And then, yeah, so then that will be fine actually. And then we can tell it to be from 0 to be updated. And this only needs to happen once on initialization so far. And we should be fine. I think. I'm pretty confident in that. I'm pretty sure that we should be fine. But then the only difference I need to make is that usually I did this. We're probably not even gonna have to do... We have to do this. We're gonna have to take this scene data. And this is my info 1, which we are not even gonna... but I do need it for the current frame. That's true. Alright. I could put it in current frame, multiple textures, but or a texture per frame, but I think that would be super dumb and unnecessary for the thing that I'm trying to do. So I'm thinking I could add it to the structure. No, that would be dumb as fuck. Why would I do that? No, wait, hold on. These are not the same things I'm talking about. Are they? Wait, hold on. Think now. Take a moment. I do have multiple buffers. I think this is not okay. No, because now what I'm doing is that I have the buffer here, but I couldn't... No, because this buffer needs to be unique per frame. Fuck. But then the other one doesn't. So then it would be a separate descriptor set. Which I wouldn't mind. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. Did it say... Add the options here. Easy, drop the... No, I'm not gonna drop this one. Keep in line. Add a second VK descriptor extension call with descriptor type inline uniform and write the GPU bytes into the descriptor buffer at binding. But now it's forgetting that this buffer doesn't exist. So that's... or am I done? But... need the GPU scene to be per frame. I cannot just copy into the same descriptor, right? Or am I dumb? I think I'm not dumb in this case. I think actually I'm thinking the right thing here. Right, you cannot reuse the descriptor buffer if its contents change per frame while frame n is being drawn. GPU is still reading from n-1 descriptor bytes. You have 3 options. Option A, per frame descriptor buffer, keep inline. Each frame owns its own descriptor buffer, yeah? Void sampler descriptor once. I think that's too much to maintain. I think it would be easier just to... Let's see, but I want to read what the ideas are. Void sampler descriptor once at init or each frame, it's cheap. Yes, I understand. Right, the inline GPU bytes each frame, bind the frames buffer at draw time, no aliasing, simple. In-frame data, init once, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, bind. Option B, own descriptor buffer, sub-regions per frame. You could have sub-regions per frame. Now that wouldn't be too crazy actually. Allocate size frame in flight, byte once, frame I uses offset. That actually I would almost prefer. Almost. That sounds pretty good. I like it. But I don't know if it's really necessary. I think it's maybe just more over-engineered than it needs to be. Maybe it's actually good. Anyways, option drop the inline uniform block cleanest. You already keep per frame current frame GPUs in UBO with shader device address usage. You already passed GPU address via push constant. Your buffer address for the... Just do the same for scene. Remove binding 0 from the descriptor layout. Add scene address device address to push con... No, I'm not gonna do that. Oh wait, I could... Wait, don't I... No. No, wait, scene address. Push each frame, scene address, current frame GPU to push it. Oh. 。 Yeah, I could, but then every single push constant gets a additional, is it 8 bytes for a pointer? Which is not overkill, but I don't think that's a unnecessary thing to keep there. Because it's not unique for every object or everything that's being drawn. I would prefer to have more descriptor sets if that was an option. I don't think that's an option. I'm just thinking if that's dumb or not. So I'm thinking of doing more descriptor sets. I would prefer that. Or descriptor layouts, because it's not sets. Or well, they're layout sets. I'm not having just them as sets anymore. Good instinct, that's the standard descriptor frequency split, and it maps very cleanly onto the descriptor buffer. Here's how I'd structure it. Frequency sets 0, 1, and 2. Content, GPU, so you have descriptors. Wait, so no, now you're creating optional per object data. Usually push constant. Okay, no, this is the right. Yeah, frame data material. Now this is what I'm thinking. Per frame, per material. Yes. Yes, this is what I want. This is perfect. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Now this is what I want. Yeah, the shader declares layout set 0, binding 0, and layout set 1, binding 0, etc. Now, how what maps to descriptor buffers? Oh, can somebody pause the time? It's already 21:59. No. No. Why does it move so fast? No. Yeah, I'm gonna get this done. I'm not going to bed before I have this done. This is interesting. Bind 2 descriptor buffers. 1 for scene, 1 for material atlas. Const binding descriptor buffer bindings info. Okay. So we do an array of them bindings now. Wait, what the fuck? Wait. No, I'm fine. Descriptor buffer binding info extension. Okay, so it will be slightly modified because now we don't really need the offset anymore because we will just put them immediately in the beginning of the thing. Yeah, of both sets. So binding 0 for both. Address current scene buffer GPU address usage, yes. This GPU, and then we pass in that thing and then that, and then bind descriptor buffers. Bindings len, so then we do 2, and we pass the beginning of the address. 0 lives with. Okay, this is perfect. I think this is great. This might even be easier because we don't have to do whatever we were doing at the top. I think this is fantastic. We're gonna take this. This makes sense. We're gonna take it over here. And yeah, don't worry about it. It has a bit of a hype. CVK. Structure this type, my bad, can't type descriptor buffer binding info extension address. I think it got it. No, it doesn't. Same thing over here. It's stuff of funny. Somebody tell me if I got the wrong structure. I think I got the right structure. And I would really like to read a little bit better here what the fuck I'm doing. What? Hold on. Can I get them on the more new lines? Should be able to. Ah, wait, I do this, then I should. Like so. No field name, scene, blah 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 blah. Current scene descriptor buffer. Current frame, GPU scene. Yeah, I use GPU scene. I think GPU. It should just be called scene. Current frame scene. I don't know what I should call it actually. Maybe it's good enough as it is. GPU scene. Do I call it that? GPU address. What did I used to do for it? GPU data, device. Current frame GPU scene. And then this is a buffer. Ah, but I changed the name to device address, that's why I'm confused. So that makes sense. GPU scene device address. Still a bit bad naming, but it is for the current scene, the information about how the shaders should use the view matrix, projection view matrix to render stuff, and it also has the time. So I don't. Maybe I should just call it nah, because it's okay. We're not gonna worry about it too much. We're gonna let it go. Just let it go. I'm gonna do this, and let's see what's the problem here. Yeah, it's not called that. It's called buff. Descriptor buff. What the fuck was it called? I actually already Descriptor buffer. GPU address. No, it's not called that. Device address. And then we're doing all of that. Hello. It's a bit yeah. And then we bind for the len. And let's see what else here. Set 0 buff index. 0 lives in bound buffer at offset 0. I'm a bit unsure about this. We're gonna still do it and we're gonna see where it goes to. And then per frame set 1 lives in bound buffer 1 at this material offset. Take this. Oh, whoopsie daisy. Subregion this material, whatever. This material? Where is this material coming from?
What's up?
Yo, what's up? What's up?
Yo,
Okay, I think I know where it comes from. VK command bind descriptor buffer extend only needs to be called when the bound buffer change, i.e. once per frame. Set descriptor buffer offset is the cheaper draw call to switch material. Oh, wait, so you could then just... You could upload all of your textures in the same and then use a index to switch between materials. That would be freaking fire. No, that's crazy. Anyways. Or am I done? Probably I'm done. Pipeline layout set.
You are.
Thank you. Set layout. So we're gonna have to change that real quick. Info pipeline create info, and then your current pipeline layout, hard codes one layout. You will want to take in an array of descriptor set line slice instead. Material storage strategy. 2 reasonable patterns. 1 descriptor buffer per material. 1 descriptor buffer per material. Simple, but means VK bind descriptor buffer per material switch. Still cheap, but rebinds sets 02. 1 big material atlas buffer sub-regions per material, bind once per frame. VK set descriptor buffer offset extension per material switch. This is what AAA engines do. For pattern B, const alignment size line forward. VK device size material get size. Properties. Concrete shape of your code. Yeah, okay. Now we'll just have to make this change real quick and also figure out what the fuck this is about. But yeah, then we don't have to do get buffer device address. Why would I have already stored it once here? Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I have. Okay, yeah, well, that's old code, and I realize it's convenient to store it inside of the thing itself. So I'm gonna get rid of that. I don't care about it. We are not gonna have to do this. Don't have to do that. And this is old. And then we begin the rendering over here. But this is still old that I will use to reference these things because I'm a bit unsure, but this is also gonna be for the material, so it's gonna happen over here. And then material device offset. Well, scripture offset. Where is that coming from? I don't think I have an offset on the material. Should I just put it to 0? We'll put it to 0. Worst case scenario, it breaks, right? And then we don't need this thing, and this is pretty much the same that we have always been doing. 0 on both of those. Yeah, okay. And then we begin the rendering. We're there. Good. We can leave this. This comment is still gonna be for later, but for now this is set count, second set, yeah. And where do I provide pipeline layout handle? Yeah, we have to change this real quick. Oh shit, I moved this thing, so now it's fucked. Okay. Only needs to be called when bound. So we have to change pipeline to be an array. Let's see. Yeah, I haven't decided not yet to be a thing here. I think this also is temporary right now because of the way I'm doing things. So I thought it was gonna be permanent. Now how I'm doing things, it's not gonna be permanent. Yeah, descriptor layout. So let's take a look in here. I do initialize it like this. This is just for one binding though. Check one thing. Let's see that I'm not doing the wrong thing over here. Wait. Wait, where is it? There. Okay. Set layouts. Hold on. Pipeline layout. Pipeline create info. Okay, wait. I have to beer real quick. I need to shit.
Right, so it's gone. Dang. So while Lubas is gone, I will tell everyone to join the Discord server. Join the Discord server. Yes, there is some very nice stuff. Like Lucas dancing. Cheesecake is here. Yeah. PG5.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome.
Thank you. we're gonna go to the pipelines. Scripture layout. Okay, so
Oh,
here-
you have 0 viewers? God damn.
0 viewers? I don't think so. I have a whopping 1 and 1 and a total of 2.
No. Those are me.
Those are you. Nah, that's crazy.
Well, then they were me. Someone could have joined now.
Okay.
Or maybe someone else is, I don't know.
Wait, where do I get the... I'll just say push constant type here and I just add it. Yeah. And then I have ranges there. But yeah, descriptor layout. But I do say layout. Wait, what's it? Layout count? Oh, wait, how? Oh yeah, because the count is per... It's the binding. Rather. Set... I think this is wrong. Wait, shouldn't that be the bindings actually? Wait, hold on. Yeah, this is how many counts of layouts I want, but it's not how many bindings. Yeah, this is horribly wrong if that's the case. But anyways, we're gonna go in and create layout pipeline here. And then layouts, yeah, and then we're gonna take the len, and then we're gonna take the ranges, that's for all, and then count, push constant range count, yeah. So I'm gonna change this to an array, slice. And then, this has just been working because I don't have any descriptor layouts. Well, nah. That's funny. Len. And then here we're gonna take... Wait, but I do have to take the handle. I cannot just pass the arbitrary, because that will give a pointer to my thing. I want an array of the actual C layouts now. So if I change it to contain an array of them instead. How should I do this now? Because now, yeah, that's what I will have to do. Wait, let's see, go to references of this. Here I initialize the pipeline layout. And, okay. And then I have the descriptor. Yeah. That's not what I meant. I meant to go to where I initialize it here. Well, the descriptor layout, I do pass into itself. Yeah, but I wanna create an array of them now. And that's what I do in here, is that I create info, binding count. Wait, hold on, I cannot do that. Can I? Hold on. I do not provide. I think I'm doing this stupidly wrong. Wait, hold on. Because this is just creates. Can I do layouts? No, I cannot. So how the hell does... Because this one probably just gonna return 1 with all of the... With the pointer to the set. But not... Wait, what? What the fuck? It's gonna take in the layouts pointer, which is a Vulkan description layout that should contain all of them. But how can I get an array of them? Wait, how can I get an array of sets? Array one at a time. Or am I supposed to just create one at a time, store them in an array, and then push them over? You make the array yourself. Create with set layout only creates one layout. There's no batch API. Each layout is a separate object. You just collect their handles into an array. When you build the pipeline layout, seen in it. And then yes, and then material layout, and then set layout. Pipeline layout. You need to take slice instead of. Yeah, but I cannot. I have to pass. Well, I could take in the raw. And a raw array of them. But I would ideally not like to deal with that. I would ideally take in my version of it. That's just better. But then I would have to customly create. I think that's still better, because when I work with my own shit, I still like to prefer to use my structures, and then when I use the actual API calls to Vulkan, then I can use inside of the functions those things, but outside I use my own abstraction of these things. And I think it will just be cleaner in general to do that. We can do that. We're not gonna mess around anything in here, we're gonna keep it as it is. Well, actually, that was a bit better. That I just had a bit nicer to open this file. Yeah, but this will change then, because we will actually now create a. This will get a B C D. This will still be this, right? We can actually yank the whole line, I think. Yeah, we can do that. We'll yank it like that, and then we'll paste it over here. Not there. Well, we can do that. That's fine. Then we'll yank this one, paste it over here, almost like so. Now this will overwrite each other. So we could probably just call it. This one could become the. Well, I think it gave a good name actually here. It's material layout, or we could actually create a set layouts. And then give both. Nah, for readability and testing, I'm still gonna go with this. This is gonna be the material layout, and then we're gonna have the scene layout. So. And then we're gonna initialize. Yeah, it's fine, we're gonna add that. So then we're gonna have. Like that, paste. And then call it material layout. Like so. So now we'll have both of these. And then in here, well, it should be a scene layout. Now I think it's a bit behind to understand that there is. And then when we initialize the pipeline, we should be able to use pipeline here. I don't know why it's still suggesting that there is no such thing as a scene layout. Because I called it something descriptors. Why did it not update the name? Scene. That was weird. Okay. And then no field name, descriptor layout handle. Yeah, we're gonna fix that in a bit. Or now. Yeah, this one will have to be done now, because this is the material. Material layout handle. But I don't know if I even need to do these things any longer, because I'm not even gonna be. I don't even use these things right now. But it's okay. I'm gonna go in here. And then in here we're gonna pass in an array now to this. That would be fine. So I'm gonna create a temporary one, const descriptor layouts, which will be just descriptor layout, like so, and equals almost. All right. Wait, am I doing this right? I think I'm doing this right. So we'll have an array of them, and then I will just say like this, and this one will be self dot interior layout, and then we'll have. Wait, am I doing? I think I'm doing this right. It's supposed to be like this. Self dot interior layout. Twice. Great. I'm gonna take the scene layout. Scene layout like so. And I think that's alright. And then in here we'll just pass in. What the fuck just happened? Descriptor layouts. So, is that fine? That's not fine. Whatever, we will take a look in that in a bit. First I will just take, because now we get in them over here. And I still realize that no, here it's fine. Because here, we'll do a const hello key314. We'll call it the raw handles. Raw Vulkan handles. Layout handles, descriptor layout handles. Vulkan handles. I think it's quite obvious what I'm working on. Vulkan descriptor handles. Like so. They will be CVK descriptor layout, and they will be of an array. Am I doing it right? Right. Yeah, I'm doing it right. And in here we'll take in the descriptor layout. Actually, we have to get every single one in here that are inside of that thing. Oh boy. So we have to. Can I do it? 4. Let's go to 4. Can I assign it? No, hold on. How can I do this? How can I take every single one and just append them into the thing immediately? I think I should be able to do 4. Take every element out of the array, because this is quite. It should be possible to do during compile time. Also because I just create them once. Or I could just say 16 and then I will just, because they're just handles, and I would just slice it off to the point where, or just take the len. That I could also do. That would be an arbitrarily simple approach. I will do that for now. Then we can make it cleaner. But I could just say 16 like this. And then 4. It's dumb, but we'll fix it in a bit. This is how I know I could do it at least. We'll go through every single one of these. And then we'll capture the index. And we'll go Vulkan. And I have a constant on that, so that will not be fine. Vulkan handle descriptors I is equal to, and then we have descriptor layout I. So dot handle, and then we'll have every single one of those, and then Vulkan descriptor handles first one, and then we'll take descriptor layouts len same thing, I will write it to 2 here. To do. I think you should be able to understand this time. But we'll leave it like that. That would be good enough to just provide the right information to this thing and proceed with it. And now we should have all of the layouts in the pipeline. And we should be able to go back to over here. And I don't think there is anything else to this except for one thing that I have to do. Do I even have to do that? I think it's fine. We'll see. What is wrong with this thing then? Render Vulkan descriptor layout does not support array initialize. Well, what the fuck? Yeah, it's supposed to be an array here. I'm not gonna make it now. And I just want an array of those. That's all I want. Why is this not okay now? Expected array found const. Well, I don't think that will. Local blah blah blah. I don't think I want to pass in the mutable state either here. How are you? Hello, Keith. I'm good. I'm good. How are you? How are you? Wait, why can I not just do this then? Shouldn't I be able to? Well, wait, does not support array initialization. Shouldn't I be able to do that? I think I should. What if I change this one to be a const array? Because I'm not modifying it anywhere. Does not support. I'm good, you're good, that's great. Yeah, okay, that's better. And then in here, we can also change it to const because it's not supposed to be modified, I'm just supposed to iterate it. And then you to refine use size. Int cast. And into here. I think that's gonna be fine. Then in here. Now vertex shader, right? But this is both of these have the same problem. It's gonna be the material layout. So and right now we'll have to change this one to material layout init. We're gonna yank it once and we're gonna change it to also be like for the scene layout. Now wait, am I thinking about this right now? No, wait, this is actually for, is it supposed to be for the scene, not for the material? Hold on. What are you working on? I'm trying to get the texture loading into my Vulkan application without using descriptor pools and descriptor sets. So I will just be using the, what are they called again? Buffer addresses and shader objects. Oh, wow, thanks for the follow. And wait, did I do this? Am I pressing the wrong? No, wait, because I want these to be. Oh no! Wait, I need it for all of them too, don't I? Oh shit! Yeah, I do need them for them all. Maybe I should just store them as raw pointers and then you initialize an array. And you can get all of them handles, because if this is actually now what I'm... Hold on, what the fuck? Wait, self... But I do already okay, I'm a dumbass. I'm such a dumbass. Oh my god. Because I already have... Oh, it's... Now I'm just gonna do the same thing twice. It's okay. Vulkan. We're gonna do the same thing twice. I think it's fine. Handles. It's fine. It's fine. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. C. VK. Descriptors at layout. And then I do have self, scene layout, handle, and self, scene layout, and not scene, material, sorry. Oops, lol, how long have you been working on this? This one I actually started a long while back, and I have done a few... I have done one complete reset on the project because I got more people involved, but like I started it quite long back. Hold on. Wow, this is loading like crazy. Like I started developing it like as you can see. Yeah, it's all the way back to the first on these things here, project 0, 7 months ago. And then around, I think here, somewhere over here, 3 months ago, I restarted the project. Yeah, okay, now that should be fine to use. I think this is the right thing I want to do with passing it into here, because I need it for both of them. I cannot use one without the other. I think this is right, I'm not sure, but we'll see. And then yeah. Why is it? What the fuck? That doesn't make sense. Shouldn't be just .len? Because it is. Oh wait, it didn't give me the brother. Overwrote it. Oh, I overwrote it twice. Now that's crazy. And I didn't even do a visual select. Oh my god. And then shush. Wait, we can do this. Boom. And then add int cast. And then that. Bam. Very nice. I think that will be fine, maybe, hopefully. This is not expected. Yeah, that should at any time be good. Okay. I think this is right. We also need to free the buffer. Hold on. Where do I don't do any. Self dot description buffer init self PMA. How much progress have you made? That's a funny I mean, I think pretty much my videos sums them up almost. Well, I actually haven't done a video about this project until a month ago, where I explain what I want to do. Then I added multiplayer using raw UDP, made the player movement work, added physics, and now last time I added enemies into the game. But I have added now Steam networks, so I removed my raw UDP networking for the Steamworks connections. I'm trying to do model loading now using GLTF and adding animations at the same time. But yeah, I got networking, I got camera, I got rendering, I got server and client side architecture on the networking. Vulkan renderer, that is. And hot reloading, so meaning I can change game logic while people are connected through Steam to the game server, so people can play the game, and I can change the game logic while people are playing. And I can also change the client is also hot reloadable, so you can change how Vulkan render stuff or gets initialized, because I re-initialize Vulkan when you do a hot reload. But yeah. So, pretty fire. I don't know if it's really necessary because I'm using shader objects in Vulkan in the renderer, so you can quite easily anyways, and even the shaders and models are hot reloadable also. So, I don't know if I should actually re-initialize the whole Vulkan render that I do it. It's probably like so overkill because it takes a lot of time to do that. But hey, it's fine. Okay, so now I want to work on this thing. We do get this. We copy the information over to this thing. We say bindings. This, we get the address from here, and then this one will be this address. It doesn't even have to be updated after it has at one point. Hold on a minute. Why can't I just do this? Isn't this what I want to do anyways? It will crash if it's, or complain, or it won't do the right thing if it's not what I want to. I'm thinking that's what I want to do. Yeah, and this all should be fine. I think this should be fine. The server is running. Let's see how far we go by connecting a client. So. Oh. Well, it kind of works. I'm quite impressed that it actually does. It's rendering probably a lot of garbage values, but that's okay. Let's see first as the initialization, because that's easier to figure out. Was created with buffer usage transfer bit, but requires buffer usage shader device address. The Vulkan spec states buffer must have been created with the usage shader device address with usage flag. Yeah, okay, that it should be. Let me take this one over to here. I will look into that. So I created a buffer without the right. It's probably the new buffer I just added for this. I hope it is that buffer. Let's see. Been created with shader device address. Shader device address. Wait, transfer to VK buffer usage shader device address with 2. What? Where do I use this thing? Ah, it's lying, bruh. I don't even use this thing anymore. What? Maybe it's VMA when I initialize the buffer, actually by default. Let's see, do I tell it to use anything? Buffer address info, new buffer. No. But is that a VMA usage or is it an actual buffer usage though? Because I have Vulkan buffer usage and then VMA allocator. Rate mapped bit. Maybe I'm mixing up the wrong things here. Was created a bit. Let's see, what can I find on this? Okay, so I have the vertex buffer, but that's storage buffers, index buffer, uniform, transfer chronos, buffer resource descriptor buffer, sampler, buffer resource, buffer sampler. Or am I referring to the wrong thing here? I don't think I am. Transfer source, but wait. Where's the transfer? That's usually I only have it in transfer here. Upload data to image. But I'm not using the second version here. But is it actually happening in here though? Could be happening here. But I doubt it. Okay, but this is still a recommendation. I think if you want to get rid of these things first, let's check that out. Create shader, create info, speeder v was used. Descriptor set 0, binding 1. Text, but binding was not declared in. Right, because now I have changed. I was thinking of planning. Okay, that's why I probably have those artifacts right now. Yeah, I was thinking of using the UVs in the same, or actually the scene data and the UV, like the data for the actual vertices in the same descriptor set or descriptor layout, but now I have them in separate ones. So now I also have to change that. Forgot about it. Wait, but that should already be changed in. Yeah, but that's create shaders. Yes. So if I go back to here, we have set 0. Set 0 is still gonna be this thing, but now we're also going to have set 1. Am I... Wait, but that one has to be accessed. Yeah, no. Wait, layout. Set 1 binding. Yeah, no, I type it right. 0. Is it a uniform? Why would I pass it? I do pass it though to both vertex then. Probably don't need it in the vertex though. No, I do need. No, I don't need it. Do I need it? This is just texture information. Well, I do take it in though. Am I tripping? I think I should take it in here. Well, I'm just gonna call it test data and maybe get rid of the error at least. And but wait, hold on. No, I cannot do that. That's dumb as fuck. Because it's actually not a. It's just a. Wait, what the fuck did I just do? Okay. I have to do something different with it. Wait, hold on. Because I do initialize it over here with that. This makes sense, right? But now this one will be combined image sampler. Yeah. So, but then it should be fine in the, hold on, it's fragment frag. Yeah, this is, yeah, okay, now, this is what I want. Scene data will still be this one. Like so. But I don't know if this is the wrong order, but we're gonna change this one to be 1, and then this one to be 0. And then we can add... This one will hot reload at least that thing. And it crashed, that's great. Probably because it failed to do... Create shader, yeah. Create shader extension, hold on. It's not null, flags, not include, okay. I'm not gonna try to figure that one out yet, because I think we have... Let's get this thing right first before we try to figure that out. Let's see, this might look a little bit better when you start now. If I didn't forget something. Now still got the same problem. Well, it... Wait, it renders with the textures. The texture is supposed to just be green. Huh. Well, that's fantastic. Okay, it actually got the same amount of errors, but it's just not as bad. Yeah, but now it actually understood to take the right amount of the right data, because what was happening in the old one, right? Because I told it to use, yeah. If you go to fragment, it's try to look in set 1, binding 1, but there's no such thing, so it probably went to some garbage offset. I'm not really sure, and maybe it accessed time value there. That's why it was a bit weird. I don't know. But now it's fine. Now I just need to figure out why the hell I'm getting so many of these ones, because that should not be the case. Let's see. Well, actually, I should probably end the stream, but this is more fun. Create shader stage uses descriptor set 1 binding 0, where text, but the binding was not declared in. Yes, Vulkan state that if. Yes, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. I mean, that's an error that I actually want, because I was thinking the vertex should not even need shader stage fragment. Yeah. So I was thinking that doesn't make sense for me to pass it to the vertex shader, because the vertex shader doesn't give a fuck about this information. So I think what we can do is then... Oh my god, please. Learn the key bindings, goddammit. Cell dot scene layout. No. Yeah, scene layout. Not handle. Because I do care about the... For the vertex, I only care about the scene. I do not care about anything else. Let's see, is it gonna crash? It didn't even... It did hot reload, but it didn't compile properly. Const... It wants an array pointer, yeah, so it makes sense that it didn't. Let's see. And now it should complain about the no, it shouldn't, but I should... I'm probably telling it in the Whoa, look at that! But it did hot reload, and everything is there still. Great. And no errors there, that's great. That's okay. Yeah, these are probably not. Create info shader uses descriptor set 1 binding 0 vertex, but the binding was not declared in. Yes, perfect. So now we're just having the reverse problem, but we're gonna get rid of it by just removing it from here, because we don't care about using it in here. And the shader got hot reloaded. It's probably not gonna update us on this, but if I now hot reload the code, probably have to do a Zig build. I don't think it registers save. Oh no, it did. Good. Okay, no, we still got the problem. Damn it. I have to look into that, and then these ones. But everything else seems to be fine. That's fantastic. Uses descriptor create shader extension p creates PRV shader fragment bit. Uses descriptor 1 set 0 variable text, but binding was not declared in create info set layouts. Shader. Hey damn, it's right there. Possible descriptor type that could be used are descriptor type combined image sampler. Vulkan spec says if code type is wiki shader code type PRV extension flag does not include shader create shader extension bit. create descriptor shader extension with a reuse variable is declared in shader. The corresponding set must match. Okay, wait. Do I say, what do I say? Descriptor type, code type sphere v. That could be used are, wait, possible type. Do I have to provide it with this type? Is that what it's saying? I don't think so. Can it be? Shader code type. Descriptor type combined. No. This is code type. What the fuck? Because I do provide all of them over here. And those comes from here, which has the material. The material layout comes, wow.
Yes.
Material layout comes from here, which has that exact thing that it's talking about. VK descriptor type combined image layout. No, image center, my bad, I read it wrong. But yeah, it's exactly that what it wants, and it's supposed to be fragment. And this one scene is supposed to be in both. So I don't understand why it's being so damn problematic. Let's see. Flag does not include shader crate descript. Wait, Vulkan expected if code type is shader code type, flags does not include shader crate descriptor. Glamorous first class up in the sky. Glamorous, oh my god, jewels. Like GLAMOROUS. Bro. Yes, I nailed it. Draw index. The bound shader stage vertex shader was created with set layout count of 1, which doesn't match the bound. Okay, that's why fragment shader create with set layout count 2. Okay, now there's something we can work with. I pressed escape by accident. But we could go with this, right? This is something I can understand. Fix. So let's see, where do I say how many? Surface, draw index start, push constants, draw index buffer. Where do I provide the count of shader stage, vertex? Push constant. No, that's not supposed to go there anyways. And then bind index, buffer. No. Values begin rendering, but here. Descriptor buffer bindings. They're supposed to be. How is this Python? No, hello elliptic, this is Zig. This is interesting. Yes. Stages. I'm a bit unsure. Where the fuck am I trying to find the problem actually? Because I thought. Screw combine image sampler. Because these are different problems related to the same thing but different. Draw index the bound. Shader stage base shader was created with set layout count. Okay, so I'm searching for something like this, right? Oh, look here. Yeah, okay. Now that makes sense. No. Vertex should only be with 1. And then I say it to be 2, so that one doesn't make sense. Then I have this one, but that one takes a descriptor len, which is also 2 for a pipeline. So all of the places where it asks for how many ones I have, I'm providing the right amount. Unless if I'm providing the wrong array into this thing. Which I am not. Providing the right thing. So how can it be 1 at any point? Wait, vertex stage. Sure, was created with set layout count 1, which doesn't match the bound. Okay. Sure, created with set layout count 2. Yeah, okay, wait. Because they are shader objects, they have to use the same. We can expect that all bound graphic shader objects must have either been created with shader create descriptor heap bit extension flag. Descriptor heap. I really would like to use descriptor heaps though. I'm enjoying the stream. Oh, that's so nice. I hope you can see though, even I scale things down. It's a small text, but that's really nice to hear. What is that? Descriptor heap. It's a way for. That's why I want to use it. I'm not fully sure, but it's a new feature that you can get for Vulkan. Let's see. Is there a problem statement here? Descriptor buffer here, is this actually the same thing? Simplify descriptor management, but several words remain that with that extension that would be useful. I don't know. Okay, wait, so this is a different one. Let's see. I think I have actually somewhere some good link to that explains it. Because I here shader. Here, if any of that, no, but this is still talking about shader objects? Yes. Let's see. Do I have it? I think I have it stored in here. It's gonna take until tomorrow. Don't worry about it. Descriptor heap. Oh, push descriptors. Wait, was descriptor heap the new thing? Wait, no, wait, was that completely new? Okay, I'm mixing these things up now. Okay, I'm mixing them up. I thought it was talking about push descriptors, but if it's talking about descriptor heap, it's Vulkan descriptor heap descriptor. Let's see. Descriptor aims to illustrate better heap mapping for memory. It is not to show a real example or recommend usage, but instead help understand how the API is mapping data. It's just a small opaque data structure that describes how to access the data from your resource variables in shader. The structure is defined internally by a driver prior. Buffer descriptor was abstract. Way. Man, there's too many extensions that I always forget which one I'm curious to find out about. Because it was something new that was... I read it somewhere, and I always try to find it again when I should really store a damn link about it, because it's so often that I come back to descriptor heap. That is crazy. I can't really find it now, but it was supposed to be a way easier way to manage descriptors, if I remember correctly, by using indexing instead of whatever, you know, trying to really avoid these descriptor pools. Any burp? What's a burp? Do you mean just burp? Descriptor heaps are cool, but there's no support for Vulkan validation layers and render doc. Yeah, it was painful working with it, but it works good. Yeah, slow. Okay. yeah. Okay, yeah. So descriptor heaps I would really like to use, but I guess it's too early in development still, so I cannot really use it yet. Or like stably, maybe. But yeah, so I need to use the same descriptor sets and layouts for when I use shader objects, unless if I were using descriptor heap bit, and I'm not. So what we're gonna do is to do the painful thing and just say that this layout will be the same. It will be used in both scene, both material and scene will be used in the vertex and shaders, and it will be fine to do this. That means that we will have to take back what I did over here. With this, we'll just yank that. Yes, I'm using the mouse in NeoVim heresy, like so. So now they will be used in both, and we will also have to do a change in the shaders. So we'll save this. We can probably see in here. Oops. And I will save this. And now it should auto load that. And we can probably not do that while. So yeah, we got rid of that, but now it's complaining that the sphere V got the wrong information. And then we can add this thing back. So we're gonna have it there and it crashed. That's okay. But I think now we should get rid of a lot of the problems, hopefully. Now, still the same problems. No, that shouldn't be possible. But it still renders correctly. Create info fragment bit was sets one variable text sampler, but the binding was not declared in shader set. That could be used VK description. If code type. But that now it shouldn't have that because we do provide it to both of them. Oh, what? Oh no, it's just the camera went through. Any burps? Did I burp again? But now I should provide both to the shaders. I'm a bit unsure why, and both of them are also in here to say that the stages. I'm asking for a burp. Lol. You want a burp? I can't really burp right now. Burps are funny. I will probably burp it in a while. Wait, just you wait. Just trying to figure out this thing. Because I'm pretty sure I'm providing it to both stages right now. So I wouldn't understand why it's telling me that's not. Sphere V VK shader fragment uses descriptor set 1 binding 0 variable text, but the binding was not declared in shader create info sets layout. Well, that's funny because it is. Maybe I didn't save it, or did it not build correctly, or what happened? Because I am providing it right here to the vertex and to the fragment. Fragment. Next stage is fragment, and there is no counterfire. Maybe it's not set up properly, but how could it not? Because it's telling me, wait, it's telling me that we can create shader extension here. Oh wait, I might understand what it's doing wrong. Hold on, let's go and take a look in here. So it goes into here. Gonna get all of the code and create extension, but it probably has no. Do I store? Yeah, because I do store it in here, create info, so then I just reuse shader create info. Yes. And then I just switch that. And then range is len. And then I just pass that. So it should have all of the information there correctly set up. And in here I do provide the first address of all of the layout handles. And here I do provide both the material and the scene layout. So both of them should be there. So I don't understand how. But the binding was not declared in shader. Wait, 1. Set material, which should be material, and it is descriptor type could be used as descriptor type combined image sampler. Vulkan spec if code type is shader code type flag does not include shader create descriptors. It's declared that in a random shader the corresponding descriptors at the inset must match the shader stage, but it does. Any parts? No. Let's see, maybe I'll just do a simple hot reload and it will understand. Maybe not, maybe. No, still the same problem. I cannot see it. Why would it? Because I'm thinking that everything I do right now is the right thing. And Zig build. It does build. Maybe later. No, maybe. Yeah, it does build. Well, otherwise it wouldn't really hot reload either. So why does it tell me that this is... I don't get it. Okay, I'm gonna ask Claude now. I have no idea. Because I'm not thinking this should be wrong. Farts are funny too. You updated the pipeline layout but forgot the shader carry their own layout. It's dependent on the pipeline layout. But they don't. They get the information from here. So both shader create info still have handle set layout. Where does it read this thing? Because I don't have this anywhere. Do I have it? Search grep. No, both of them use the len. So I think it's reading the complete wrong thing. $188. Wait, 188? Wait, 181. My bad. 181. Okay, yeah, it has an outdated, got outdated info. Read again. You oct. Outdated. Because I already do that. So it shouldn't be able to get this wrong unless if it actually is not saved what I have done over here and still reading some old cached. I don't know how that would work. Neovim is bullying me right now. I'm really thinking if I should just not hot reload the like reinitialize the render. Probably shouldn't. What the fuck? Bad. Maybe try hello. Maybe the servers can't have a look at your session transcript. Yes, sure, Haddock. I state a few things. Notice binding number mismatch, material layout. You declared binding, it's the only binding in this set. You shader uses set 1 binding 0 per. Okay, wait, did I read that? Wait. Set binding 0. No. Set layouts. No, that's the right thing that I'm doing. You declared the binding, but it's Vulkan 101. Oh, that's true. It's supposed to be binding 1. And then 1 descriptor. Okay, now that is better. Still a few problems here. But it's now loading the actual texture. Looks cool. Yeah, maybe. Still have to figure out though if this is actually if I should simulate the physics also on the client, because I don't do that right now. And it feels a bit weird. I was thinking of just interpolating, like kind of like letting it fly, like sending words on its way and just letting it continue drift that direction. Instead of simulating physics. But See how it turns out, lol. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of things to think about, but I think it's fine. We'll look in to get buffer device address. We'll look into these things. I can't probably find out that already, but I don't think I need this for anything, do I? Not now, at least. And then set size. Do I even need this thing? I don't think I need it. Okay, it's used in here. Okay, maybe I didn't need it. And then I actually need the other one as well. Fuck. Okay. Well, we'll still think about that one because it's actually gonna be moved away from here to the GLTF loader. Or kind of, it's gonna work in combination with that one. But yeah, we should be able now in theory with the RBG to be able to, for example, do a, let's see, alpha, let's do one. I don't know how the colors do, wait, 8 to 56, is that right? That's R dot R dot R 256 dot G 0 and blue 0. Is that, I think that's how you do it. And I should make it red, right? Unless I did it wrong. Type you cannot represent. U8. Oh, is it just 255? Yeah, 255, my bad. And now it's red. Woo! Fire. Then we can go into here. And we can open up the fragment. And we could, well, we could use this, or we could also say out frag color is equal to in color. And do that. And it will be like we did before. Bada bing, bada boom. Fire. Okay, no, but we're still working on textures, so I think everything is fine. Let's see if I exit. Oh, no, I don't have a time to exit, it crashes. But yeah, we can see here a few problems that I will have to look into tomorrow. But I want to still do one exit, see is it clean on exit. Because if it isn't, then, well, that's bad. It's connecting to the Steam server. I should probably launch the visual client, even though I'm connecting, because it's a little bit annoying to see anything. But yeah, let's see if I exit. There's almost everything free. There's VMA got a problem, but my own allocations are good. Okay, cool. How long have you been? I just joined the Discord. Ah, awesome. You're free to just share anything that you do. Welcome to the Discord. I have been programming, well, since I first ever programmed was when I was 14. I'm 24 now, but that was, yeah, I wouldn't say I have been actively programming since 2023, 22, somewhere around there, 2023, I would say. 10 years since I actually started programming, like doing anything, like even touched code. When I was 14, yeah, so 10 years ago. But actively programming since 2023. I took some classes a couple years ago, yeah. I think still something is not quite right here. No, it is. Current frame. No, I'm tripping. Any burps? I can do one, I guess, but there. Alright. I'm gonna have to end the stream. Small, yeah. I haven't. Yeah, I'm just gonna end it here. We'll continue tomorrow fixing this problem and this problem. Probably this as well. Alright, that will be it. Good night, take care, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Oh wait, no, tomorrow we'll actually do a full system reset. I think I will completely just nuke my Arch Linux and redo everything and my Windows. One of the other. Either I will do a full restart or we will fix this thing. I will think about it. But one or the other. Alright, take care. Bye bye. I'm streaming the same time, usually around, 2 hours before this I start the stream, about.